So we're back again. We have our learner Mark, and he's going to be a bit of a student in the sense that I'm going to educate you guys on what to do if you have rotator cuff impingement or some sort of a shoulder injury, yet you still want to do a pressing movement. Okay? We know that so many people in the gym have injured their shoulder, have had some sort of rehab on it, but it just still niggles or there's still something not right about it. And I come across so many clients that still want to exercise in the gym but don't know exactly what to do in terms of pre-hab or warming up routine. So Mark doesn't really know what we're going to do, so we're going to assume you've injured your left shoulder, okay? And it's been there for years, but it's just not sitting right, okay? And this is the routine that I would recommend. So the first thing, Mark, we need to stretch, okay? So we're going to do some nerve glides. So if we can, if it's your left shoulder, okay? You're going to be like so, with your head away, and you're going to push your palms through like that. So as you do that, I'll explain it through. So the first thing you need to do with a nerve glide is that you need to make sure that your shoulder blade's engaged. So I just want to go a little bit higher, okay? A door frame or a post is really good for this. And then you're going to do a little ballistic stretch, and you're going to bounce your palm through there. Now you want to keep your elbow locked out. Now, can you feel a stretch all the way through? Okay. And the way, because you've got your head turned to the side, you also turn it down like that and keep your elbow locked out, because it's all about stretching the wrist, not the elbow. You're stretching what we call your brachial plexus, so that's a really nasty nerve through there. Okay, have a rest. And this is what I call the sciatica of the neck. Okay, we have sciatic nerve coming through, but this is just as thick, and it breaks out into a plexus of nerves, and it gets really yuck. Okay. So that's the first thing I would do. I'll do a nerve glide. Once you've done a nerve glide, we do some real simple ones. We're targeting the ulnar nerve and the radial nerve. So if you can sit face this way for me. So I'm going to get you to mirror me, okay? So the first one, put these two fingertips together. And so then you're going to do what I call the shot put. So you put it underneath and with a head tilt. And then you're going to tilt your head away from and then do like a teapot looking thing with my wrist. Yeah? Great. And then what you'll find is you're getting a nice stretch through there, okay? And then repeat. So you come back, closing on the nerve, and then open up and stretch the nerve. Great. Very good. Now, as you can see, you've got really good mobility, so you can put your wrist. But if you've got some form of a shoulder injury, that nerve's going to get really tight, okay? Great. And the last one, you turn your head away and down. You're going to, once again, close in on the nerve, and then do like a bit of a breakdancer move, twist all that fascia, okay? So try that one for me. So over the top, good, and then twist your hand through. Now see how you're going over into your trap in your front delt? You want to sit square, okay? So less is more. So try again, over, good, and then turn your head away out, and then feed it through, great. Still sitting to see how tight you are through it. All right, try one more time. So over the top, and then feed it through. So less is more, great. And then what that does is that's a nice fascia and spiral nerve as well. So you've done one stretch and two stretches here. So that's the stretching side of things. Now we actually have to strengthen the rotator cuff itself. So can you lay on your back facing up for me? So I call these one the alphabets. They come this way a bit, so you're comfortable. You can do this on the floor or on a bench. So depending on where you are, like if it's a really fresh or an acute injury, then you would only use a lighter weight. But if it's an injury that you've had for a few years, then you can use a heavier weight because you've adapted to it. So what you're going to do is engage your shoulder blade. So imagine you're putting your shoulder blade in and down at the same time. Great. Now, what's important is that you don't overuse your trap, okay? If you feel like your trap is switched on, then you're not setting your shoulder blade. And you want to make sure that your subscap or your armpit as well is relaxed. Now, this is where it gets challenging. You want to make sure that that center of gravity is right over that shoulder capsule. So I call this one, it feels like a leaf or a neutral position. It could go this way, this way, this way, or this way in any one slight push, okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is write the alphabet with your shoulder. So A, B, C. Now this is quite challenging. You do not use your wrist and do not use your elbow, okay? Your shoulder's doing all the work. Well done. Now, They're very tiny movements, okay? Very small movements. Now, the way I explain this to clients is that this is like having a cortisone injection for that shoulder capsule, okay? You're increasing the space inside that rotator cuff by doing these very minute movements, okay? And at the same time, it's engaging the shoulder blade and getting that trap out of the equation. That's really important. You finished it, Zed? Okay, great. Now, if you had a big injury, that would take you a lot longer. Now, what I'd like you to do is write the alphabet mirrored backwards. So A backwards, B backwards, C backwards. All right, so this is going to get you thinking. Now, this is where you get that mind-muscle connection. It's proprioception. So A is going to look mirrored, B will look mirrored, and so on. And the great thing about this exercise is that if you do fatigue, you know where you finished, and you can then repeat it the next day or that evening, and then try and beat it. So it gives you a quantifiable measurement as well. Keep it over that center of gravity. Yep. Now, bursitis is another common thing with the shoulder. Infraspinatus tear, supraspinatus tears are really common. Infraspinatus at the back, subscapularis, all those impact the rotator cuff. Alright, well done. And the most important thing is how you get out of it. So if you were by yourself at the gym, I would put it in your other hand and then take it out. The worst thing you can do is either come down or in the other position. Okay? Alright. Then, once we've done that, we're going to do, just standing up for me. So we're going to do some woo raisers, and what we're going to do is now get that full range of motion. Okay? Now there is a bit of an art to it. Depending on the weight, okay, you're going to come through, and what I see a lot of people do is they do a lateral raise and then turn, okay, it's not like that. You've got to come through and turn, and then you reach tall. It's not a press, okay. When you reach tall, my shoulder blades, okay, are elevating. So you reach tall like that, so you give that a go. So it's a little scoop like a W, okay, so it's a bit like that. Bend your elbows a bit, great. And then come through, and then reach. Excellent. And then reach tall. Yep. And make them parallel at the top. And when you're doing that, make sure you've got a neutral pelvis. Okay? And then come round and come through again. Well done. Breathe in and breathe out and come through and reach, and parallel. Excellent. So I would do 10 to 12 reps of that. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Turn it in, yep. Excellent. And when you're doing that, a lot of clients say, I've got a clicking sensation in my shoulder. You really want to sit on those shoulder blades, okay? And you can even slightly lean forward if you wanted to. Yep. And reach. Well done. And have a rest. So we're almost finished the routine. Once you've done that, I'm going to get you to do some shoulder blade push-ups. So when you do shoulder blade push-ups, all you're doing is engaging and setting that shoulder blade. So can you show me? Okay, so you're not bending your elbows, okay, keeping the core tight, and put your hands more parallel. Yep, closer, 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 closer. Great. And then go down and up. No elbows. Yep, down and up. Great. Keep your elbows locked out. Yeah, that's better. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Can you just change angles? So just go that way now, Mark, just to show the camera. Great. Keep the elbows, engage your shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1, and relax. And up you get. So that's your routine. Now, what have we achieved? We pretty much hit the shoulder blade from every angle. Okay? Now, I know you haven't got a shoulder injury, but how does the shoulder feel? Yeah. Okay. So we've got 3 nerve glides. We've got 1, we've got 2, and we've got 3. Then we've got alphabets. Okay. And then we've got woo raisers, and then shoulder blade push-ups. And that's your routine that I would highly recommend for anyone with any form of rotator cuff injury or shoulder impingement, and then before you do any pressing movement.